Yusuf rejected Israel's claim that it tries hard not to kill civilians.
How many of the people killed so far are civilians? Even those they call terrorists, they are not terrorists, they are resistance, and we are proud of them.
Well, as Hamas militants continue to fire even more rockets into Israel, the Israeli military is firing back in defense. This as the United Nations Security Council has called for a ceasefire, but Israeli Deputy Defense Minister Danny Dayan says that's like the U.S. settling with the 9/11 terrorists.
When you speak about a ceasefire, it's between Hamas and Israel. It's like I will tell you that President Obama will sign a treaty with Osama bin Laden, with Al-Qaeda. Those people, you can actually buy ceasefire or get into a ceasefire only when you show that you are strong and that you are determined. I think it is too early to speak about it.
Ambassador Dan, what do you think would happen if missiles were raining down on Albuquerque or Memphis or San Diego or Fort Lauderdale or Dallas or Tampa or Raleigh? What would we do?
Well, I think this is the first question I would ask you, and I would ask every member of the Security Council who is telling us to talk to Hamas and to have a ceasefire. What would you do? What would the United States do if missiles rained down from Albuquerque, as you said, from either Mexico or Canada? What would France do if missiles rained down from Germany? What would Russia do if missiles rained down on it? What would China do? All these sanctimonious people who are preaching to us, who are they to preach to us? The Russians who wiped out Chechnya after a few missiles, the Chinese who cleared out Tiananmen Square, the British who sent out thousands of troops to a remote island in the Falklands, thousands of miles away from their own territory because of a couple of sheep. We are defending our homes. We are living in a very tough and very dangerous and brutal and cruel neighborhood, and we are actually on the front line of terrorism. We're fighting not just for us, we're fighting for you, for our American friends, for our friends around the world, because this is the first line of defense, and we have to make sure we destroy those animals who are trying to destroy us, and I assure you, Eric, we will not stop until we do.
Air raid sirens yet again sounding across Israel. Hamas rockets continue to target major cities like Tel Aviv. Israel wasting no time in its response in Gaza. Running for cover in Gaza in this video, an Israeli missile strike in the Gaza Strip. It hit the home of a militant leader. But concerns of another front overnight opening up in the north. Rockets fired by militants in Lebanon, also hitting Israel. All this as President Obama says the U.S. is willing to help negotiate a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. John Bolton, former U.S. ambassador to the UN and a Fox News contributor here now. A lot to go through in the next 3.5 minutes here, Mr. Ambassador. First of all, the offer from the president, is that something that could get this done here?
Well, it's not really an offer. It's an implicit exercise of pressure against Israel not to take really significant steps against Hamas in the Gaza Strip or now in Lebanon against Hezbollah. And I think that's part and parcel of the Obama administration's strategy, which is to prevent Israel from really doing something that could result in a more secure environment in Israel. I think it's unfortunate. It sounds like a good thing. It's going to have the opposite effect.
Even though the Security Cabinet has yet to officially discuss an initiative to offer $50 billion in economic aid to Gaza in return for the demilitarization of the Strip, Lebanese media claimed Sunday evening that Israel has already presented the offer to the international community. Kerry highlighted the U.S. concern about escalating tensions on the ground, a senior State Department official said, and told the Israeli leader that he was engaged with regional leaders to help to stop the rocket fire so calm can be restored and civilian casualties prevented.
This is what the sky over the Gaza border looked like on Friday, as Israeli forces moved into day 4 of a military offensive on the area. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
We have so far attacked more than 1,000 targets. Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and other groups. There is still more to go.
He warned that he is weighing all options, including a possible ground war, adding that the opinions of allies won't deter Israel.
No international pressure will stop us from acting with full force.
The country's Iron Dome aerial defense system has blunted much of the impact, say the military, intercepting nearly 550 projectiles fired by militants in Gaza since Tuesday.
יש פה אנשים, איפה אנשים? יש פה הסתובבות של די הרבה, ייתכן ילדים מסתובבים באזור של המבנה שאנחנו כרגע מסומן. ככל הנראה אנחנו לא נתוף את המטרה, נגמר את המטרה הבאה ונצליק.
Israel has widened its air assault against Hamas as the Palestinians say their death toll from the 5 days of fighting rose to over 125 on Saturday. Gaza officials said overnight Israeli strikes raised the death count with more than 920 wounded. While there have been no reported fatalities in Israel from the continued airstrikes, Hamas militants have fired nearly 700 rockets and mortars towards the area. Plumes of smoke could be seen rising over Gaza City on Saturday, as Israel responded with their own airstrikes, sparking a massive fire in an industrial district. Meanwhile, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has called for a ceasefire in the ongoing conflict. While Israelis and militants exchange rocket fire along the Strip, Abbas reiterated that the Palestinians demand their future state be based upon the 1967 borders. President Abbas said at a press conference, "Come, let us make peace and we can do it in 10 minutes according to the 1967 borderlines. And all other issues will be solved in an hour and the dispute will be terminated." But the president also warned that without an agreement based on the original borders, Israel would keep receiving missiles.
Breaking news, more rockets fired into Israel yet again today, and the Israelis step up their air offensive on the Gaza Strip here. Death toll in the air offensive said to be up to 100 Palestinians dead amid a new report that Lebanese militants have fired rockets on Israel's northern border.
The IDF presented the Security Cabinet with a few possibilities for a ground offensive in the Gaza Strip over the past few days, and was waiting for the green light from the government. The options being explored include the entrance of thousands of ground troops, armored corps and engineering forces to the Strip. A senior government official said that as long as the forces in the border of the Strip increase in number, the chances of a ground operation increase as well.